Nice
Hi,
camera. Hey.
I'm with Eddie Cole in Vienna, Austria. Hi Eddie, I'm Courtney
Hello,
Nzeribe,
Courtney.
and this is an article for Black Atlas. And what I like to do as I travel through Europe is I like to seek out fellow African Americans and even those of African descent, performers, artists, and find out how they make their way in Europe, how they make their life, and listen to their stories. So can you tell us when you came to Vienna, a little back?
I came to Vienna the first time in 1984, and I only did a tour. I did tours with Patricia Davis, who's my lovely cousina, and we stayed here for like 2 or 3 weeks, and we had so many bookings that we were invited to come back within a month after we returned.
Now, are you just singing? Are you dancing?
And singing. I was on Soul Train.
Right, I saw some Facebook clips
God.
from Martina on that.
Oh, Martina, I'm a getter.
So what else? What did you do in the U.S. before with that?
Well, before I came to Austria, we're going back. I worked with Diana Ross.
Oh, wow.
I was on Soul Train and Diana Ross. Of course, in the 70s, it was a craze. Everyone wanted Soul Train dancers.
Yeah.
So auditioned for Diana Ross, and she chose 4 of us, and that began the big thing. But even before that was James Brown. I can't forget James Brown. But as a part of the Soul Train gang, we opened up for James Brown at the sports arena. And there was a Jewish guy that came backstage and said, "Oh God, you're great, you're great." And Tom Jones is looking for a group to open for him. But in the meantime, Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin wanted Soul Train dancers as well. And it was a really funny thing because 4 of us had a phone call of some man saying, "Hello, my sister Aretha wants you to come to New York to work in Radio City Music Hall." And I was like, yeah. We had prank callers all the time. People used to call and hang up, and I said, yeah. So after he told me that, I said, "Oh, I have to check my schedule," you know. So then I called Pat. I said, "Pat, some prank caller come calling me, telling me he sees a Franklin." She said, "It's true. He asked me for your phone number," and I had to call back and say, "Hello, this is Eddie Cole calling." I was a bit embarrassed.
You never, right.
Yeah, because I thought it was a prank.
Right.
So instead of doing Tom Jones immediately, we went to New York and stayed for 3 weeks, which was an experience. It was so great because Aretha was like your auntie or your cousin or somebody, and she was her family. They embraced us all and picked us up in a limousine to drive to her house for dinner, and she allowed us to take the subway back because we wanted to see Harlem. We were like, we want to see Harlem, but you can't see Harlem from the subway. Before you look out of the window, blink, and it's over, you know. So after that, we came back to LA and we started rehearsing for Tom Jones tour.
Atlas. Hi, Kristin.
Hello.
Tell us what you're doing in Vienna.
Well, I live in Vienna. I've been here for 7 years, and I'm working as an opera singer. I'm based here in Vienna, but I sing all over the world.
Okay, do you sing in German?
I sing primarily in Italian. I am what is considered to be a Verdi soprano. Verdi is a composer of Italian repertoire, and I kind of specialize in that area of singing Italian rep, in a rep specifically by Giuseppe Verdi.
And you performed here at the Staatsopera?
Well, I will sing here in 2013. I will debut with the Staatsoper in the title role of Aida. It's a role that I've sung many times all over the world, but I'm very excited to finally be singing in the city in which I live.
Right. And then you found your way to Austria.
Well, this girl called Kat Miller, who's a singer, she called Pat and told Pat that she needed, because she was working in Austria before, that she knew a management who wanted a black break dancer who could sing. Well, I never rolled in my back.
So this is like the 80s.
Right, this was the 80s, and I could not roll in my back, but everything from the breakdancing period up till now is originated from the Soul Train period. It's a little bit of the locking thing. Everything is kind of mixed in together. So I said, well, I don't spin on my back, but I could robot, but I didn't want to go to the girl because I should go alone.
Okay.
So I avoided contact with this girl. She kept calling my mother's house, and one Saturday, to my surprise, her and her husband popped up. Face was broke. I had to go, "Oh, yes, I'm sorry I didn't call you back." And she said, "Well, I would like to invite you to my house, and we want to talk about this project I want to do." And I said, "Okay." And when I went to her house, she said, "Okay, so let me see you break dance." So I just did robot. She said, "Okay." And I thought she was going to say, "Well, that's not break dancing," but She said, okay, well, let me hear you sing. And I went, what? I went, everything must change. She
Oh, I
said,
love
okay,
that. Yeah.
okay, fine. You will leave to go to, and I went, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going. And I'm sitting in this woman's house. I can't tell her no now. I'm going to wait till I go home and tell her no. So I told Pat, I said, yeah, she said, I'm leaving in February, but I don't want to go. But in the meantime, there was a singer in Vienna who had a song out called She's a Break Dancer and wanted a female.
Okay.
So Pat was able to do that job. So it was the same management. So we said, if we go together as a duo,
You feel more confident, and
then we came here, and then everything was wonderful.
Is she
and
still here?
She's still here. She's married to an Austrian now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other opera houses have you performed in throughout Europe?
I sing a lot in Italy. I've also sung in France and Germany as well. I've also sung in Egypt and in America, but only a little, and when I was in graduate school. So my career has basically taken place in Europe.
But you trained in the United States.
I did. I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, and I went to undergrad at the University of Central Arkansas, and then I did my graduate work at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and then I moved to Vienna.
Amazing. What inspired you to move here?
Well, I met my voice teacher who's also American, but she lives here in Vienna, and I met her when I was in graduate school.
Okay.
So I moved here to study with her privately, and after about 1 year of living here, I began working. So I'm really fortunate.
How's life here? Are you happy here?
I'm very happy here, but it's very, very different from life in America. Anyone who comes here notices the immediate difference. There's really no comparison, and I can't say that one is better than the other. They're just completely different.
But in terms of your chosen profession, do you find that they value the arts and the artists more here?
I can say that opera is definitely a part of mainstream culture here, and that's different from in America. But as far as being an opera singer, I think that each of us has to determine our own path. And for me, I discovered quite early that my path was led me here to Europe, and so I'm very happy living here and working here.
Do you see yourself here in 5 years, or
Absolutely.
moving on to another country in
Well,
Europe?
I'm really settled here in Vienna, and I think that Vienna is an awesome city to be based in, to work around the world, especially in Europe. So I see myself here in 5 years. I see myself continuing to perform all over the world, and I'm very happy with what I do, and I feel very blessed and honored to have been given the gift of song, of voice, and I'm so lucky that I have opportunities to share this gift with the world.
Who are your African-American opera role models?
Well, there are many from the South, actually. Leontyne Price is from the South. Jessie Norman also is from the South. And Barbara Hendricks is not only from the South, but she's from the same city and the state that I am.
Wow.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
I think she lives in Europe still.
She does live in Europe, and actually there are many African-American opera singers living in Europe, but we're so spread out that it isn't very often that we work together, that we run across each other. If I am correct in my knowledge of where she is now, I believe she's in Sweden. But I haven't had the privilege of meeting her. However, I've been a really big fan of hers, and she was absolutely one of my inspirations as a student studying opera. Her voice is lovely, and her path is one that I also, I sought to follow as I pursued my career and mapped out my next steps.
So your next performance is going to be Aida at the Staatsopera. Can you tell us about that production?
Well, my next performances are in Aida, but actually it's in Israel is where my next production will be. But here in Vienna, where I live, I will sing my debut of Aida at the Staatsoper. And my connection with this production with America is that at the Chicago Lyric Opera in Chicago, Illinois, the music director is a famous conductor whose name is Ricardo Muti.
Right.
And he will be the conductor of the production of Aida I will premiere in here at the Staatsoper in 2013.
Well, that's huge because Ricardo Muti, he's been wasn't in La Scala in Milan, and now in Chicago we're lucky to have him.
Fantastic.
So that's an honor.
Yes, and he's such a wonderful man. I've worked with him once before. Last year we did some concerts together in Naples, Italy, and before that I had my introduction introduction to him in New York at the Philharmonic last year. So I'm looking forward to working with him again, and because he's such a fantastic person, he's a wonderful artist and musician.
I hear he's a taskmaster,
yes,
though.
Yes, he is. But that's part of what makes him so fantastic. It's well deserved. His ability to lead and his ability to conduct and his ability to take control of all situations. It's well deserved. It's earned, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
You have an amazing life here, and I'm sure we have many more amazing stories to tell ahead of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do it like.
And then after, so we came here and we were the show sensation from Los Angeles, and everything was new. MTV was new here then, and so we had a lot of opportunity, and we did a lot of TV and toured all over Austria, Germany, and Spain, and Switzerland, and it was really great.
So I hear you're quite famous here, especially this morning when the interview with Helen, she was saying like you're the person society calls on, like you do the gala.
Well,
so
they know me. Yeah.
So tell us about this Life Ball.
Well, the Life Ball, oh God, this is, how many years? I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. This is maybe the 20th Life Ball they have.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, tell you in a minute. Good. Yeah, the Life Ball is the biggest European AIDS benefit that there is, and it's grown up to be a real spectacular event.
It's a worldwide event because I've seen pictures and the society pages.
And it started out such a small little thing with just a few people, and now it's just bigger than huge. I mean, we have Janet Jackson coming this year.
Oh, wow.
Janet's coming. I mean, Bill Clinton has been here.
So you're in, beside performing, you're in charge of all the entertainment?
No. I'm not in charge of that at all.
Oh, okay.
No,
you're just performing.
I'm just performing.
Okay.
I'm one of the stars, from the local stars here.
Okay.
And there's a guy, I should know their names, but it's just everything is going so fast. There's a guy who's singing the musical Xanadu. He's here, and yeah.
So do you wear, like, Vienna is known for their balls and their waltzes?
Well, that's what my phone might interrupt any minute because I should be finding out what are we supposed to wear.
I'm sure a
They usually
tuxedo and
dress.
tails.
No. This is the most glitzy, craziest ball you have ever seen in your life. There are people that might come with nothing but a G-string.
Oh, wow.
There are people that women come topless with rhinestones or.
But you know, when you think about it, the history, the ball culture kind of originated here with all the waltzes.
Yes.
And it wasn't just for the aristocrats too. Each type of group or guild had some sort of.
This is crazier than crazy. They come in the most outlandish costumes you can imagine. And they even have they pick the freakiest costume gets a prize. Yeah.
So you'll be going. So what other events do you do here?
I do
television.
I do a lot of TV. The magazine, the Vienna magazine. I perform at a lot of different big galas.
I mean, it's amazing how many people will even dream of performing at the Staatsopera Opera and traveling throughout. Do you perform in any other genres besides opera, jazz, or?
I love jazz. I love jazz second to opera, but I don't sing it. I think that we've all been called to do specific things, and when you can sing, you can sing. But I'm pretty certain that my gift is in opera, and I let those who can really sing jazz well lead in that genre because I enjoy it so much.
Any recordings that we should look out for you?
Well, I have DVDs of performances. Those things are found, but it's not mainstream, not yet. But look for me.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Talking about Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel.
And all the exotic food here, but I'm craving some Wiener Schnitzel.
I love the fried mushrooms. The champignons,
yes. I love, like, I think Viennese food and German food is kind of like the soul food of Europe.
Yeah,
so it's hearty, it's comforting, it's satisfying. Although everything I've eaten on this trip has been great, but it's been more exotic, more Asian, more Mediterranean. So I'm craving some soul classic.
You have to go to a schnitzel joint.
Yeah.
So you like the Starbucks out of all the coffee houses?
I do, well, just because Austrian pastries are not as sweet as American pastries.
Right.
And I have to say that's something that I have not quite gotten used to. I think that there are many wonderful things here, but the cuisine is a little different than in America. And again, being American, of course, I prefer American food, but having lived in Europe for so long, I've gotten used to a lot of things. But every now and again, I still want a taste of home, and I go to places like Starbucks, not so much because I'm a coffee drinker, because I'm not, but because of the fact that it reminds me of home, and there are some things there that are, are really American still, so I enjoy that. But, it's interesting because living here, one has to embrace the culture. You can't just let it go or just hang on to your native culture, things you're used to. But that being said, there are times when I just really miss America, and I find myself missing things that if I were in America, I would never think
you would
of
take
at
for
all.
granted,
I would completely take for granted. But I realize that in those moments, I'm missing home, and not so much those things. I've gotten used to living here, and I enjoy living here a lot, But there's still times when I need that little taste of home.
I hear you.